Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to an SB Reviews, where today we're going to be checking out a track from an act named Violet Wish titled In Too Deep. And if we switch over to here, this is not my first rodeo with Violet Wish. I have reviewed tracks of theirs such as Sick Again as well as Shield of Glass if I am not mistaken, and we're going to listen through this third track from start till finish and we're going to hear what we think. Let's do this. Let's go, let's make it big. Oh, the nice automation of the volume there with the synths. Yeah, great balancing there. Nice intro. Reverse cymbal takes. The voice is well leveled. What a cute cat, man. Is that the Grand Canyon, is it? I'm gonna have another look through the lyrics after this. I feel like I missed something. Yeah, this is a little bit mysterious, this track. I do appreciate it. I'm gonna talk about this track though more in the conclusion. It's that part there. Just before we get into the conclusion, you should have left the gun. Because, welcome to the conclusion of my review of this track from an act named Violet Wish titled In Too Deep. I get the impression this is about someone losing another, like they're trying to get back up on their feet, but they're wondering if it's too much at this point in time to be able to handle that. And you get the feeling that they're reminded by the voice of that person that they're speaking about. But I'm not sure what they mean by the gun at the end. I'm wondering, I'm in two minds about it. Something terrible could have happened to that person, and they're trying to, you know, whilst respecting the memory, try and find a way to sort of like move on from the grief that they feel or try to come to terms with it. Or yeah, I'm not really sure how to take that left the gun part. That is, yeah, I would probably need some help with that one just for the nuance. But the vocals are solid. There's this kind of wispy, kind of wave-ish kind of tone to it that really suits the synthy elements within this. The reverbs are wonderful. We have some really interesting vocal melodies as well. And I like when we go into the falsetto at the upper range as well. It harmonizes neatly, and also again, it's just a really great presence within the track. A lot of the pad and sort of bass elements within this, they do sort of gravitate around the singer, Violet Wish, and they are close to them. And when they sing about sort of like hearing themselves through the noise, etc., or hearing the other person's voice through the noise, it's something really kind of fascinating, because it's like they're trying to put the experience they're having within that situation into the track and demonstrate that as part of the song. And I feel that that's really intelligent. But I feel like we show solid vocal technique. We allow a lot of time to be able to appreciate the instrumental backing. It's not just about the singing or about the story that's being told. And in general, it's a really great sort of return to Violet Wish's work. And then a track here, 3 minutes 23, is well laid out. We have a few sort of main components there. Again, the synth pads, some of the leads there, some of the basses there, as well as the drums there. I'm also kind of wondering if that's like an electric bass, or if they're like kind of playing the low string of a guitar or something like that in the verse sections there. They're very low key. Part of what this track does well is it has these massive sounding hook sections with the do, like a really catchy synth lead there, working with some really quirky melodies there. They just ease naturally into the ether of those synth pads on the sides. But when we come down to it, it follows an eighth note groove with the drums, working with those kick snares and hi-hats. And it's just palm muted. It's just dum 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 dum. It's really satisfying and niches neatly underneath what the vocalist is doing. And there's a great sense of awareness of how to sort of position stuff within the frequency spectrum as well as the stereo field. And also how to do it in a way that is cohesive. There is dynamic range because we take away certain instrumental layers at certain points. There's a very sort of rewarding and pleasant to listen to loop structurally between the verse and chorus sections and stuff. And I like the fact that we allow, again, a fair chunk of that intro to simply be that build of the synth. We're showing confidence in our compositional songwriting abilities by not kind of trying to sort of shove the listener's face immediately into the biggest part of the tune. We are confident in the experience we're going to provide, and I appreciate that. I don't think we needed a lot more variation with what was going on with the drum parts. You could have potentially put some drum fills in, but if we wanted that sort of consistent motion to represent the feeling of consistency that we have telling the story or about the story, I think that makes sense. There could have been some other melodic tails, like a little sort of like solo section at the end to vary what the synth lead was doing a lot of the time. There's lots of, like, this is a very minimalist composition in a way that I think is positive. I don't think we overcomplicated it. I don't think this track would have benefited from having a really sort of expansive mode of transport for what it was trying to communicate. I feel like it was more about instantiating that sort of feeling of mistiness inside our heads, maybe that brain fog, but also just the memories associated being in that space in your head. Being reminded of all these memories and things in the other person and stuff like that. They're trying to sort of invoke that black and white aesthetic that they're putting forward. I see a lot of colors within it. There's lots of blues and purples and lots of pretty ideas. And even though there's potentially some really dark stuff being discussed, the theme outside of it, with the perky, majorish kind of melody, there's minor chords in there, but they don't deteriorate or diminish the pull of it too much. It's incredibly vibrant, even on those quiet parts though. Part of it is because of the notching again of the vocals, not having too much low end there, things being spaced elegantly. But yeah, just genuinely, a lot of the success of this track is the introspection of the vocals within the story they're telling, the way that the minimalism of the story kind of matches the lack of trying to overcomplicate the track performatively. And generally, I just feel like we made a lot of the right decisions here, and it was a tight performance without no doubt of place. The studio recording, mixing, and mastering is tight. The vocals, synth pads, the sides there mirroring some potential extensions on harmonies, but typically working with triads. The bass line ruminating around the root notes. The drums were, again, formulating a sort of sense of consistency with, again, those eighth note grooves. Things were niched nicely within the frequency spectrum and as well as within the stereo field with no weird resonant frequencies. Again, the production was commercial grade. There was perceived dynamic range by the diversification of the differences in the amount of layers of the instruments within the composition, but it was still nice and loud with that pump, except bus compression limiting was handled. Part of me initially was like, is this too compressed? But it's also like if I wanted to sound like the noise is kind of surrounding us and kind of forcing itself in, especially some of those more sort of those bigger sounding bits, I feel like it was sensible decisions. We clearly know the vibe we were going for. We understood how to enable it, and we have success here. So thank you very much for watching my review of this track from my next name, Violet Wish. Tucked it in too deep, and hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please go show them some love by their various social medias and YouTube page, and stay cool and stay safe. And please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as you need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.